Now, we talked about being able to move virtual machines previously, but if we go into the resource group here, we can see that there is a move menu item inside the resource group level, and we can simply choose some of these resources, the VM, the IP address, the operating system disk, and the network card, and we could choose to move them into a new resource group using the move command. So that's pretty straightforward in terms of the portal. You can also do this using PowerShell and CLI, of course. But what happens when you have a virtual machine? I'm just going to go into this one here. What happens when you have a virtual machine that is just not cooperating? It's not starting right, or if you are trying to remote desktop into it using RDP, the RDP is not responding, and you're just convinced something is really broken, stopping and starting has not helped this VM, I need to redeploy it. So how do you redeploy virtual machine? I'm going to show you a couple of ways. Let's go into the Cloud Shell for this one. And so I click the Cloud Shell link, and I'm going to make the screen a bit bigger here. Instead of using CLI, I'm going to switch over to PowerShell, say confirm. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a PowerShell commandlet that's called set Azure RM VM. So this is an instruction to the resource manager virtual machine, and we're going to say redeploy. So that will give it the signal that we want to just terminate the virtual machine, terminate the temporary disk, terminate the IP address, and just start over. We say resource group name, so resource group name. In this case, this is AZ102RG, and we say the VM name, in this case, is AZ new VM002. So when I run this command, it will attempt to, again, wipe away the virtual machine and the temporary disk and the IP address and just redeploy it from scratch. So we'll let that run. So the command ran. You see it took about 1.5 minutes, says it succeeded. And so I'm going to close this. And if I refresh it, then what we should have is a redeployed version of this virtual machine. Now, this is not the only way to do that redeployment. If you are of the point and click type, you can go down in here into the redeploy section of support and troubleshooting and just click the redeploy button as well. So redeploying your virtual machine will migrate it to a new Azure host, and your VM will be restarted. You'll lose the temporary disk and etc. So that's how you redeploy a VM.